picture this. You just got a promotion. You're finally making $85,000 a year. On paper, you've made it. But then reality hits. Your rent in the city just went up to $2,800 for a studio apartment where you can practically touch your stove from your bed. After federal taxes, state taxes, and that $19 artisan salad you bought for lunch because you were too tired to meal prep, you look at your bank account on Friday. You have $400 left for the next 2 weeks. You're a high-earning professional by day, but you're living like a broke college student by night. You feel like you're running a race on a treadmill that keeps getting faster, but the finish line is moving backward. You're doing everything right, yet you feel completely stuck. Look, here's the thing. You don't have an income problem, you have a geography problem. My name is John, and I spend way too much time thinking about the intersection of location, lifestyle design, and the mathematics of wealth. If you're someone who feels like you're working harder than ever, but your bank account is hitting a glass ceiling because of the cost of living, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Most people think that to live like a millionaire, you need to be a millionaire. They think you need $10 million in the bank before you can have a personal chef, a beautiful villa, and the freedom to spend your afternoons at the beach. That is a lie. Here's what most people don't realize. You are currently paying an invisible location tax. You are paying for the privilege of living in a high-cost area so that you can work a job that pays you just enough to afford living in that high-cost area. It's a closed loop. It's a trap. In the investing world, we have a concept called arbitrage. It's the simultaneous purchase and sale of an asset to profit from a difference in the price. Geo-Arbitrage is simply applying that logic to your life. You earn in a strong currency like the US dollar or the euro, and you spend in a weak local economy. Let's look at some real math because numbers don't have emotions. Let's take a standard $45,000 salary after taxes in San Francisco or New York. That's poverty. You're sharing a room with 3 strangers and eating ramen. This is where it gets really interesting. If you take that same $45,000 and move to a place like Lisbon, Portugal, Medellín, Colombia, or even parts of Southeast Asia, the math flips. In these locations, $3,000 a month doesn't just buy you a decent life. It buys you a millionaire lifestyle. Housing, a luxury high-rise apartment with a pool, gym, and a view for $1,200. In NYC, that's $6,000. Services, you can hire a local person to clean your house and meal prep healthy organic food for about $15 a day. That's a personal chef and a housekeeper on a budget. Dining, you can eat at the best restaurants in the city every single night for the price of a McDonald's meal in London. You aren't changing your job. You are not changing your salary. You are only changing the rules of where you spend your money. By moving your spend to a different coordinate on the map, you instantly increase your purchasing power by 300% to 400%. Now you might be thinking, John, I can't just leave. My friends are here. My status is here. Look, I get it. We are social creatures, but this is the arrival fallacy mixed with a status anchor. You stay in a high-cost city because you want to look successful to people who are just as stressed and broke as you are. It's the middle-class mirror we talked about before. You want your outside to match the success you feel you've earned. So you stay in the expensive city, buy the expensive car, and pay the $150 convenience tax for delivery because you're too exhausted from working to pay for it all. But true wealth is the money you don't spend. If you live in a high-cost city making $100K and save $500 a month, you are losing. If you live in a low-cost city making $45K and save $2,000 a month, you are winning. In 10 years, the lower earner in the cheaper city will have a brokerage account that allows them to retire, while the high earner in the city is still complaining about rent increases. Domestic geo-arbitrage. If you work remotely, why are you living in the most expensive zip code? Moving from California to Texas or from London to Manchester can instantly save you 20–30% in taxes and rent. That is a raise you give yourself without asking a boss for permission. The digital nomad strategy. This is for the 20-something or the solopreneur. You spend 3 to 6 months in hubs like Mexico City, Bali, or Bansko. You keep your Western salary, but your cost of living drops to $1,500 a month. You invest the remaining $2,000. The permanent lifestyle design. This is the Sarah approach we talked about. You find a place with high quality of life, great health care, and low costs like Spain or Greece, and you build your home base there. You aren't vacationing, you are living. I know what you're going to say. John, what about my career? What about taxes? What about my family? First, the career. We are in the era of the digital gold rush. If your job can be done on a laptop, it can be done from a balcony in Portugal. If your company won't let you, find a company that will. The efficiency tax of being in an office is becoming a relic of the past. Second, the taxes. Yes, you have to file. But for Americans, there is the foreign earned income exclusion. You can potentially exclude over $120,000 of your income from federal taxes if you stay out of the country long enough. That's a massive wealth hack the government literally put in the tax code for you. Third, the safety. Look, the world isn't a scary place. Most of the dangerous places you see on the news have neighborhoods that are safer and cleaner than downtown Chicago or Los Angeles. Here's where it gets really interesting. Let's look at the compounding tale. If you save an extra $2,000 a month by living in a lower cost area for just 5 years, you have $120,000 in principal. At an 8% return, that money doubles every 9 years. By the time you're ready to retire, that 5-year experiment has turned into over $1 million. You didn't work harder, you didn't get a second job. You just moved your body to a different part of the world where your money is treated with more respect. Look, it's hard to win the wealth race, but if you try to run this race while carrying the burden of a $3,000 monthly rent and the convenience tax lifestyle, it's impossible. Geo-Arbitrage is the ultimate cheat code for the middle class. It allows you to skip the boring jobs and jump straight into the millionaire lifestyle that you can enjoy while you're still young. Don't sacrifice your life for a tiny office in a city designed to drain your bank account. The world is huge and it's waiting for you to realize that your $45,000 is worth much more than you've been told. I want to hear from you in the comments. If you could move anywhere in the world tomorrow and keep your current salary, where would you go? Tell me the city and the first thing you'd buy. I read every single one. And I also want you to follow our channel. It's very valuable to me and gives me extra motivation. Thank you in advance. And if you want to learn the exact 4-step process to set up your remote income to start this journey, watch this video. See you in the next video.